Alright, it's time for chapter 3. You wake up in your bedroom. It's just another Monday. What do? They changed the position of the options, but it's wonderful how you can say so much in such a subtle way. Let's try to get up for once. It's not possible. You wake up again. It's still Monday. Guess we can go back to sleep. You aren't ready to get up yet. You fall back asleep. You wake up again. It's still Monday, you think. Maybe we should try to get up this time? Maybe we have enough energy? Nothing. You fall back asleep. Ray, get up. We're not going to be late today. You grumble as you get out of bed and change into some clothes. Mom hauls you into the car to take you to school. It's fall semester again. It's been 1 year since this all began, and despite being back at school semi-regularly, you still feel like you're always missing class to catch up on sleep. Not to mention you're still tired all the time. You fall asleep in a couple of your classes, but you end up making it through the entire school day. Despite taking several naps, you're still exhausted. Oh man. Guess we have no choice. We still want to try going to Sadie's house. You haven't seen Sadie since before summer ended. You're not sure you want to open that bag of worms right now. You don't have the energy to deal with her today. Your phone vibrates in your pocket. It's a text from Mom. She's out front to pick you up for another doctor's appointment. Right. It's your first appointment in a while, actually, but you got a strong recommendation from one of your previous doctors. Maybe this time it will be worth the cost. You grab your backpack and head down to the main office. By the end of last year, your family was too broke to see any more doctors, and that's not even considering the emotional cost of it all. But after a summer of no doctor's visits, your family has saved up enough money and paid enough bills to start looking into solutions again. The doctor comes in. Her coat reads, Dr. Shipley. Funny, that sounds like a sci-fi captain's name. Mom launches into an explanation. Dr. Shipley, like all the rest of the doctors, listened to the spiel. She, like all the rest of the doctors, nods her head. It sounds like you'll benefit from a sleep study, though it could still be something else. Let's get you scheduled for one. You sigh heavily but make the appointment. Nonetheless, you schedule it for next week in the sleep lab at the hospital. At least this test will be harder to fail, given how great I am at falling asleep. 1 week later. Mom drags you to the sleep center for your sleep study. You've never stayed overnight at a hospital before, but this place is different than you expected. It's kind of cozy with lots of closed-off rooms. After getting checked in, you're shown to your room. The sleep tech attaches what seems to be electrodes to your head, chest, and legs. He also puts 2 elastic bands around your chest to monitor your breathing. Oh, we are covered in stuff. Mom looks down at you. You look like a robot. You snicker. She kisses you on the head. I'll be back in the morning. Sleep tight. I don't know about you, I don't think I will be able to sleep if I knew everyone's gonna be watching me and monitoring me and stuff. You crawl under the covers, the lights are off, and the sleep tech talks to you over the intercom. He asks you to close your eyes, look up, look down, look side to side, checking to see if the monitoring equipment is working properly. Okay, you're all set. Shout if you need anything. You fade into sleep. Oh, just like that. Despite having numerous cords attached to you, you sleep fine. Once you wake up, the sleep tech helps take some of the electrodes off, but not all of them. It's time for the nap tests. We'll have you try and fall asleep for 30 minutes every few hours. Once the nap tests are done, you will be free to go. Okay, so we've got nap tests too. You do the first 2 nap tests and fall asleep easily. Seems like you're passing. I could hear your stomach grumbling from the other room. How about I order some fruit from the hospital's cafeteria? You nod. That sounds pretty good. What would you like for lunch? How about mac and cheese? Your food arrives at the lab and you take a break, you chow down. Not the finest meal I've ever had. I wish Mom had packed me something. Time to get back to taking naps. This actually isn't as bad as you thought it would be. You finish up the rest of the nap tests. Finally, it's time to go home. The sleep tech takes the rest of the electrodes off your head and releases you from the elastic bands. Mom has been waiting for you outside. She gives you a hug. How'd it go? Did you sleep okay? Let's tell her about the food. Lunch was terrible. That mac and cheese really can't compare to your quinoa salad. Please tell me we're having something tasty for dinner. Mom smiles. We can. What are you in the mood for? Spices. Literally any spice or flavor whatsoever will be an improvement. Tikka masala? Perfect. I'll even take leftovers if you have any. The 2 of you head out the door and home without another word about the study. Several weeks later. You finally get a letter in the mail and a phone call from the sleep doctor. Mom talked with her on the phone for a while, but you've come to see her in person. No doubt you're just waiting to get informed about yet another dead end. So we got your results back from the sleep study. I understand you've been looking for answers for quite some time, yes? You give her a weak nod. She hands you a packet of papers. It has some charts with numbers you don't understand. Well, after reviewing the test results, I feel confident that your symptoms are tied to a condition you may have heard of before. It seems like you have narcolepsy. You look up at her and stare in disbelief. Wait, it's been so long since all of this madness began. Is this it? Are you here? Do you finally have your answer? But narcolepsy isn't right. I've seen on TV that people just fall over all the time, usually for comedic effect. A few years ago, someone dressed up as Narcolepsy Man for Halloween, and it was pretty funny to see him just keel over and snore. That's not what I have. Narcolepsy affects the brain's ability to regulate sleeping and waking cycles, which is characterized by excessive sleepiness during the day and falling asleep for short spurts at a time. Sleep doesn't really do the job that it should be doing, so you wake up less rested than you should. You nod. What she's saying is actually making a lot of sense. Also, your story lines up with many that we get here at the sleep center. Most patients present symptoms between the ages of 10 and 20 and often visit many physicians before receiving a diagnosis, if they ever do at all. With proper resource management and follows up, it is absolutely possible to live a full life with this condition. Tears come to your eyes and you feel lighter, almost. This thing you've been living with, this silent monster, it finally has a name. Instead of shrugging when people ask you what's wrong, you finally have a real answer. Mom gives you a hug. She's crying too. You thank the doctor and schedule another appointment for a more in-depth session later on. You and Mom are quiet on the car ride home. Her entire demeanor has relaxed and you can see her relief. It's been a long couple of years for the both of you. Still, after the initial happiness of the diagnosis, a somber feeling has settled within you. You haven't said much since leaving the office. What's up? Let's be honest, I want to hear what's bothering her too. I feel like I'm supposed to be happy about this, but I'm just not. Mom looks over at you, egging you on to say more. I don't know, I thought having a diagnosis would help, and it does help a little bit, but now we have to deal with the aftermath. You sigh heavily. Let's speak freely. I have to deal with this. You've just been along for the ride. Oh, I didn't mean she was gonna be rude when I chose that option. I didn't want her to do that. Mom looks taken aback by this response, but doesn't say anything. Alright, I know these past months have been hard on you, but I really am trying my best. It hasn't been easy on me either. What? Don't we have any option to be nice? Let's just say nothing then. You bite your tongue and let her speak. It's been heart-wrenching watching you change from the happy and boisterous girl you were to the worn-down person you are now. What these past few months have done to you, no young person should have to go through that, but that's no excuse to stop trying. Tears threaten to spill from your eyes and your hands shake. I'm not stupid, Mom. I know what managing a disease means. It means it's not curable. I'm going to have to live like this forever. So there isn't any hope of getting better. Why should I try at all? Mom pulls the car over to the side of the road, turning off the car so that she can look at you head on. Ray Kim, what problems do you see in the world? What? Come on, it's not that hard of a question, is it? Name a problem that you can see. Kind of a vague question, but you ponder it nonetheless. There's inequality, of course, and wars overseas, but also the corner store stopped stocking strawberry milk over the summer, which was a real bummer. Then there's everything you and Mom saw. Doctors that didn't take you seriously, a lack of understanding from people about what you were experiencing. It hurts your heart to think of those things. Empathy. People don't relate to things they don't understand. Okay, who is going to solve that problem? Again, you're at a loss for words. Because the way I see it, if you see a problem and no one is there to fix it, isn't it on you to take the first step? You stop and think about that for a second. Did you get that off of a Facebook post? Ray, I'm being serious. You need to have a goal to work towards in order to keep going. Having a positive outlook on things is easy when life is going well, but sometimes life just sucks. When situations are out of your control, you can either wallow in your own thoughts or you can control what you can, your outlook. But if you give up, there is no way for them to ever get any better. I don't want to lose my daughter to some condition she may have. I want you to find a way to be happy despite it. That's all I have ever wanted for you. You can't help it anymore and spring forward to hug your mom. You cry into her shoulder as she pats your head. You both sit there for a bit until you calm back down. Your father and I are here for you, and we always will be. You just can't give up hope on living a good life. Well, I was wondering where her father was. I thought maybe she's a single mom. You nod in her arms. You understand what you need to know. It's Tuesday. Sadie is down the hall walking towards you, but she hasn't looked up from her phone yet. It's now or never. Sadie? She looks up and sees you smiling. She can't help but smile back. Ray, long time no see. Are you visiting again? No, I'm actually back. For real this time. You're all better now? Your smile falters just for a moment. No, I got a real diagnosis though. I think this one is legit too. You both stand there looking at each other. It's been months since everything went down between the two of you, and you aren't quite sure what to say at this point. Look, I'm sorry I've been kind of distant. Everything just kept piling up, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But you actually tried to reach out when no one else seemed to care. I should have been a better friend to you. You shift your weight and take a deep breath. I was wondering, do you want to come over and write with me after school today? Sadie smiles, but there's something behind her eyes that upsets you. It's pretty obvious how much your fight hurt her. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Sure, I would love to come over. What are you working on these days? You laugh nervously, silently breathing a sigh of relief. I actually haven't touched my story since last year, so there's that. Gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. I've been writing a lot since you've been gone. This summer, I finished the first draft of that novel that I've been working on. Sadie, that's amazing. Sadie's bright face shines back at you. Thanks. You know, I actually am in need of a proofreader. The members of the writing club are not the best help when it comes to sentence structure, but that's expected when your club is 90% freshmen. Whoa, wait, writing club? Yeah, I kind of started it last year after winter break. We only have a couple of members, but there's this one girl, Alyssa. I think you would really like her. You giggle at Sadie's shyness, but it's obvious she's really proud of the club. You never would have guessed that she would start one on her own. Then again, it has been a whole year since you really hung out together. Maybe you weren't the only one to change. Well, if you happen to be accepting new members, are you kidding? Of course you can join. But I have to warn you, it does conflict with drama club. That's alright. I always did like watching theater more than doing it. The two of you laugh and chat all the way to her house. Turns out there is a lot to catch up on. Alright, time for the epilogue. You girls have a good time and stay safe. Remember, if anyone make you uncomfortable, you have my permission to punch them in the face. Thanks, Mom. And if anyone touches you, thanks, Mom. Okay, have fun. I packed you both quinoa salad in case you get hungry. Really? You mean quinoa salad again? It went over so well at the potluck. How could I not? I'll be back to pick you up at 4. You and Sadie wave goodbye to Mom as she drives off. It's been a few months since you and Sadie reconnected, and the two of you have settled into a comfortable friendship once again. It's a little different from before, but just as loving. Sadie was the one to bring up going to the anime convention that's held downtown every year. You never had the guts to go before, but after everything that's happened over the past few years, you decided it was time to step out of your comfort zone. Alright, the Super Space Sailors voice actors have a panel at 2:15. Until then, we can take a look at the show floor. Aye aye, Captain Itami. I'll set a course. Thank you, Miss Starling. You and Sadie set off through the aisles of the show floor. Vendors crowd the exhibit hall with all sorts of merchandise, plushies, clothes, art books, you name it. Plus, there are cosplayers everywhere. Whoa, what are all those people crowding around over there? I think that's the artist who draws dark and gritty takes on things that definitely don't need to be dark and gritty. That seems interesting. Sure, but you can only see so many teddy bear homicide detectives before it gets sold. I'll take your word for that one, Sades. You and Sadie laugh, hoping he didn't hear you criticize his work. So how goes the new medication? It seems like it may be working, but it's too early to say for sure. I'm just glad this one doesn't make me feel so jittery. Sadie nods along. You remember talking her ear off non-stop when you tried the last medication. It was supposed to keep you awake during the day, but instead it made your heart race and your whole body feel twitchy. Medication management has been its own journey as well. You've lost count of the number of meds you've tried. As of yet, you have not found a perfect balance between treatments and side effects. Hey, want to take a tour down Artist's Alley? The two of you take a hard left and head down the path of posters and prints that line the way. An interesting piece of art catches your eye, hanging on the wall at one of the booths. Hey Sadie, wait up a second. You talk with the artist and she pulls a poster down off the wall. Sadie gives you a bit of a side-eye glance. You hold the piece in your hands. It's a picture of a cello, but the background is made up of playbills from various musicals. Seems like it was made for you. Wow, seems abstract, although the use of color is très magnifique. Does that mean magnificent in some other language? You smile at her lame attempt to be bilingual. I like it. Definitely worth the price tag. You hold the picture up to the light. This is going right up on your wall when you get home. Having to quit orchestra and drama club has been tough. You don't see your friends nearly as much anymore, but focusing on schoolwork has paid off pretty well. It took some time to get into the swing of things, but you're going to pass all of your classes this year. Your homeroom teacher even told you how impressed she was. You gently place the picture in your bag and continue with Sadie. I was meaning to ask you, Alyssa and I are going to stop by the new boba place down the street tonight. Do you want to come? I would, but I have a doctor's appointment today. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Oh, well, we can postpone if you want. Oh no, you guys go have fun. But let me know what flavors they have. We can go some other time. Sadie smiles at you and nods. Lately, you've had to pick and choose when and where to spend your energy. It's just another part of your life that you've had to adjust to. Hey, let's take a picture. Right now? No time like the present. You pull out your phone and open the front-facing camera. You and Sadie squeeze together and put on your biggest smiles. Smile! Ha! Wonderful, wow. The camera shudders, freezing the moment in time. Despite everything, life has found a new version of normal for you. You'll look back on this moment when you need to remember how much love and support you have in your life. And you'll keep on smiling. And that's it. That's the end of the game. Wow. This was a journey. This was an emotional roller coaster. This was so good. I was not expecting that when I first started. I mean, it looked like a simple 2D game. It just had a couple of pictures. You just had options to choose from. But man, the way that they played with those, this was such a nice story. And I mean, the writer captured all the emotions so perfectly, and I mean, I was so involved. I was so deeply touched by the story, and a big shout out to KJAM, to the developers. Did a fine job. I'm gonna include the link for this game in the description. It's free. It doesn't even have any ads. You should definitely go and check the game out. It does have a couple of different endings, like I said. So let me know if anything changed for you based on the decisions that you made in this game. So that is it for me. I'm Ranaf, and this is Blazing Pocket. I'll see you next time.